welcome back. I'm Jodi. Look at her. Oh, whoever said cats were independent are lying. Alright, well, welcome back everyone to the Jodi channel. I know, I am not the most consistent content creator, but life is not consistent. So I have spent over $200 this month on books. So I'm gonna show you guys my book haul of the month. I was so unmotivated this morning, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who are long-term viewers of mine are watching me, and I'm just doing random things that excite me, and it's not particularly gaming related. And yeah, I would say that right now I'm figuring out what I want to do. And I was like, you know what I really want to do? I want to read and pick up a new book. Where's the closest bookstore? I look up a bookstore, there's one 5 minutes from me. And that actually motivated me to get out of bed, get ready, go. Without further ado, here is my rather expensive book haul of this month. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a pricey list because I'm trying to grow my book collection to just ultimately have my own little bookshelf, my own little library, and obviously I gotta buy all those books. And I was kind of just buying my favorites, but then I was like, no, I don't want just my favorites. I kind of want a whole collection of all of the books that I've read. And so I'm slowly doing that. I just decided that this month. Cats. So this haul consists of books that I have read and want to just add to my collection, and I'll tell you what I think about those books and why I've decided to add them. Books that I have picked up and have not read and why I picked them up, and the book that I'm currently reading. So like I said, I was so unmotivated to get out of bed this morning, but the books really brought me to life. And I came home with a giant haul of books. There's more to my right. And I got the premium membership because I was like, you know what? My mom used to have a premium membership when we used to go to the bookstores, and I was like, well, maybe it's time I get one. So without further ado, the reason I even really, all of this was inspired by the Hunger Games series. Because growing up, I loved the Hunger Games, and I have yet to read the new book, The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. I can't believe that I have not gotten around to it. That's okay, it's changing now. So I was really debating. The whole reason this video happened because I was holding this book, the single book, and I was like, one day, Jodi, you're gonna have to buy the rest of the 3, because I always read on my Kindle, but there's something about a physical book you can hold, and I love being able to highlight and annotate, and it's a little hard to do on my Kindle, but I love Kindle for travel or if I'm binge reading a series or anything, but I really am getting back and falling in love with physical books. So I was like, I'm gonna buy this whole series, and then that brought me down the rabbit hole of buying many more books. So I was walking around Barnes & Noble, my hands were full. I was trekking, I was like, can you bring these up front for me? But yeah, I actually read the Hunger Games in high school. I feel like as many of us did. And I'm like a Hunger Games fanatic. So I love these books growing up. Very excited to read this new one. Part one of the haul. Part 2 of the haul is another book set. So I read A Court of Thorns and Roses 2 years ago, and I did really like it. I think that it was such a fun fantasy read. I love the world building. I really do like it. But I don't think it's my favorite. I would say A Court of Mist and Fury, is that what it's called? Yes, was my favorite of the series, and but it's one of those things where I'm like, well, I do really like it. I would recommend it to somebody who's getting into fantasy and schmutt. So I bought it because I'm gonna eventually buy it, you know? So I was like, well, it's right here. It's in a set. I might as well buy it. I did not buy the hardcover ones because it's a lot of money. I also just like the look. I would say that my current bookshelf is kind of dark. So it's I want to bring some life to it. And I like the colors of these. But I really did enjoy A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's just not my most favorite fantasy series. Still one of the ones I did really enjoy. And so I had to buy it. They also gave me this free tote bag for joining the premium membership. I'm sure that tote bag is worth nothing to the premium membership. I'd be mumbling all the time now. Premium membership. No. Another book that I picked up, Red Rising. So I have not read Red Rising yet, but I have heard incredible things from multiple people about this book. I also love dystopian worlds and such. And so this book is upside down. I've heard so much good about this book that I was like, I have to have it. I have a feeling that I'm gonna really like it. Like today even, I was talking about how I did a book call and somebody asked me like, have you read Red Rising? And then I was like, wow, crazy. I just picked it up and they're like, oh my God, I love this book. And then another person's like, oh my God, I love this book. So it must be good. I know it's good. I think it's right on my alley of like what I like and what I'm interested in. Also, it's a trilogy. And I do love standalone books, but there's nothing like deep diving into a series. Like I love being completely immersed into a world for a long period of time. So that's why I really love like 700 page books or trilogies or things like that. But for those of you who don't, I mean, I feel like, okay, I was gonna like give you what these books are about, but like I feel like everyone kind of knows what the Hunger Games is about by now, right? And then like Thorns and Roses. How would I even describe this without reading this? That you have to know, but if you don't, it's about a girl who lives in a district, a very poor district, and every year there's volunteers or your name gets drawn to go fight in the Hunger Games. And the Hunger Games is they take 2 people from every district and you fight to the death. So if you don't know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is about, John and I were actually listening to this as an audiobook because I was like, I feel like this is a really good entry, but it actually started off a little too slow for him. So we ended up switching books, which I will talk about what we switched very soon. But this book is about a girl who lives in absolute poverty. She provides for her family through hunting. It's a really harsh season. She ends up, how much can I say without giving it away? World building is really great in this book, I think. Like I actually love the monsters and just the people you meet are really cool. That's my favorite part. Also, the romance in this one slaps. I remember there was a scene with wings, if you know what I'm talking about. I was like, I didn't think I was into that, but here I am. Anyways, this is called A Shadow in the Ember. It is a sister series to Blood and Ash. I actually don't have the book right now because one, I didn't buy this month, but also I just gave it to a friend to borrow. So I only have the cover. But it is called A Shadow in the Ember. It is the first of, I don't even know how many books are gonna be in this series, but it is the Flesh and Fire series. This is probably my favorite fantasy series so far ever. And it's a big statement to say, you know, but it's a sister series from Blood and Ash, same author. And From Blood and Ash is really popular, but in my opinion, I was like, kind of fell off or was getting a little repetitive for me. So I haven't even like finished that series. I think it's still ongoing. I don't know. I just honestly put it down. I was like, but this has so much potential. What else does this author have? And then I found Shadow in the Ember and oh my God. It is about a girl whose life before she was even born has been, I guess, basically her destiny has been chosen before she was even born. She was promised to the primal of death to be his consort. And she has been trained her whole life to be a consort, kind of to be demure and seductive and docile. But really, she's an assassin to murder the primal of death. So John really likes this so far. But granted, we've only made it 3 chapters. Also, it's nice. I just read the 3rd book of this series. I will say the 1st and 2nd book are like incredible. And then the 3rd book was still good, not my favorite, but kind of had to happen within the story. So I'm hoping the next one is just like a banger. But I picked this up because I need to add it to my collection because I have the other 2 physical copies. So following that same author, when I was buying the 3rd book, I was at the bookstore, obviously, and saw this. Same author, and this author is busy. This author has so many books, which is honestly a treat for me. But I picked it up because I was like, well, I like what I've read so far, so I have no idea what this is about though. Fall of Ruin and Wrath. Long ago, the world was destroyed by gods. Cats are really, really going crazy right now. Long ago, the world was destroyed. I need to slow it down. I do this thing where I talk so fast because I stream for a living, but like, dear God. Long ago, the world was destroyed by gods. Only 9 cities were spared. Separated by vast wilderness, teeming with monsters and unimaginable dangers, each city is now ruled by a guardian, a royal who feeds on mortal pleasure. Oh, I'm already gonna like this. That's my bread and butter. It's like my guilty pleasure. I don't even give a yeah, anyways, I picked this up. Really excited to read it. So it's on my to be read list. Following my to be read list, I picked up This Is How You Lose the Time War. I've heard incredible things about this book. So if you don't know, oh my, no. if you don't know about this book, I'm gonna just end up giving you guys what it's about. I'm gonna read it. In the ashes of the dying world, Red finds a letter marked burned before reading. So begins an unlikely correspondence between two rival agents in a war that stretches through the vast reaches of time and space. Red belongs to the Agency, a post-singularity technotopia. Blue belongs to Garden, a single vast consciousness embedded in all organic matter. Their pasts are bloody and their future mutually exclusive. They have nothing in common save that they're the best and they're alone. Now what began as a battlefield boast grows into a dangerous game, one both Red and Blue are determined to win, because winning's what you do in war, isn't it? I've heard incredible things about this book. And then that was a buy one, get one 50% off book. So I picked up this one called Flight. And I don't know anything about this book other than what the employee told me. She was like, hey, yeah, this is a buy one 50% off. Maybe you'll like this one. It's a telling over 3 days of what it's like to be like the holiday season without going home to your mom, I guess. This is the first Christmas the siblings are without their mother. The first not at their mother's Florida house. Over the course of the next 3 days, resentment and instabilities arise the siblings. The cashier was giving me a bunch of options because I ended up not seeing the sticker until I was checking out. And she was like, okay, here's this, here's a murder mystery, here's that. And then she told me what this one was about. And I was like, I have a feeling this is gonna resonate with me because I try to go home every year for the holidays. And I just have such a intense yearning for home that I have a feeling this will resonate with me. But I literally know nothing about this other than what the cashier told me about. So, Flight. I'll let you know how it is. Another one I picked up today is called The Foxglove King. Never heard of it. Know nothing of it. But it was right next to Lord of the Rings, which weirdly convinced me to get it. Not that they're related at all, but I don't know, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Why not? It sounded nice. I liked the cover. This was truly, I was influenced by the cover. I was like, I have a feeling this is like one of the books that I'm gonna like. So I don't know what this book is about. Let's find out. Laura has been living by her wits since she was a child, running poisons for the cartel that took her in, avoiding the attention of the law and keeping her affinity for death magic a secret. Because mortem is a rare and illicit commodity, and using it could mean death. When a job goes wrong, and Laura is captured by the sated king's warrior monks, she accepts a pyre. But King August has a different plan. Entire villages on the outskirts of the country have been dying overnight, seemingly at random. Laura can either use her magic to find out what's happening or die. Also, what a beautiful map. Are you serious? I don't know. Leave a comment if you know if this book's good. I was no clue I was influenced. So I also picked up The Priory of Orange Tree, and I know nothing of this book. It's also a book I actually don't want to know about, so I want to go into this blind. A lot of people in my chat actually recommended this to me, so I'm avoiding what the back says. I kind of just want to jump right into it. I heard that was a very good thing to do, so we'll see. Adding it to my collection. Now, something I also picked up today. Now, I didn't get this from the bookstore. I actually ordered this and it came in today, so this worked out really well, but was 2 Twisted Crowns. Now, you all know I really enjoyed the One Dark Window. Well, that's not what the series is called, but the Shepherd King series. So One Dark Window is the first book of the series. It's only a 2-book series. Loved the first book. Super unique magic system. And then, yeah, read the second book. I do think it really suffered from second book syndrome, but I still really did like the series. Like I thought the world building was really cool. Basically, we follow a girl who lives in a kingdom where it's entirely surrounded by mist, and whoever goes into the mist basically disappears. There's an infection among the lands, and our main character is infected, and anybody who's infected, they kill. She has been hidden away for many years of her life. And on top of that, the magic system is incredible. There are these Providence cards, and each card has a magic to them. So tap on the card, you use it, and maybe you become invisible, or maybe you can read someone's mind. But all magic comes with a price. Really good. Really, really good. I love this book. Still enjoyable series. Had to pick it up. I wanted it to be part of my collection. Now, a book I just finished 2 days ago. Fan favorite, I would say. Iron Flame. I picked this up like 2 days ago, but I had already read about half of it on my Kindle, and then I finished the rest paperback, hardcovered, whatever you want to call it. I think this book is really fun. I think it really reminds me of the Divergent series, which I read in like, high school, but a little more adult, I would say. I think this also suffered from second book syndrome, and I have a lot of thoughts that I might just make an entire new video on all of the thoughts I have on this book, but it is such an easy read. It kind of reads like a YA book, but has a little more darker themes and is a little smutty. So I'm not complaining. But thoroughly entertained. I'm pretty sure it was announced that 5 books are in this series, so I'm always pleasantly surprised. I'm always surprised in general by what happens. I always think like, oh, I kind of have an idea what's gonna happen, and then I don't, which is always a super fun ride to take as a reader. I also picked up Trust at the Emerald Sea, so I actually haven't finished this book. I'm like probably right around here, maybe, in it. Still ongoing, still reading it. So far, so good. It's really fun, very adventurous. I picked up Mistborn, haven't finished it either. Do that sometimes. But same thing, picked it up, haven't finished it. It's on my to finish read. I do this a lot. Like, basically I'll start a book and then, oh my God, another book from one of my series that I'm reading comes out and then I have to finish that, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this book is so fun. It's very adventurous and kind of quirky, really lighthearted so far, but didn't want to forget. The last book I picked this up, I want to say 2 days ago. I basically read it in one day. I ended up not finishing it because, well, I haven't got a chance to read today, but I'll probably finish it today. I got recommended this, and it's just really enlightening. So this book is by Esther Perel, who is a psychotherapist, and it's funny because I've actually seen her pop up on my TikTok. Like I've seen her randomly like talking to someone. There's a TED Talk. I want to finish the book first before I go and watch the TED Talk. Like, I have so many things already highlighted throughout. Like to even just give you, I don't know, a snippet of it. Well, let me tell you what it's about first, sorry. Mating in Captivity invites us to explore the paradoxical union of domesticity and sexual desire and explains what it takes to bring lust home. And not just that, it just talks about sex in general and desire and the difference between intimacy and desire. It's just such an enlightening read. You learn, I would say that it doesn't teach me anything new, but it's just such a great take. That's not true. I'm enlightened by it, truly. I want to read one of the things that I highlighted, just a snippet, because there's some good ones. Ooh, okay, ready? This is like literally page 15. Modern romance promises that it's possible to meet these two distinct sets of needs. Okay, sorry, I highlighted this, but this is a whole paragraph. We all share a fundamental need for security, which propels us towards committed relationships in the first place, but we have an equally strong need for adventure and excitement. So, modern romances promises that it's possible to meet these two distinct sets of needs in one place, those needs being adventure and excitement. Still, I'm not convinced. Today, we turn to one person to provide what an entire village once did. A sense of grounding, meaning, and continuity. At the same time, we expect our committed relationships to be romantic as well as emotionally and sexually fulfilling. Is it any wonder that so many relationships crumble under the weight of it all? It's hard to generate excitement, anticipation, and lust with the same person you look to for comfort and stability, but it's not impossible. And it was just, it was just quite an enlightening read. I think I did indeed learn a lot, and it got me thinking about a lot, and I love books that make me just sit there and be like, oh my, But that is the ending of my book haul. So $200 are down the drain. And now I'm just gonna start adding them to my shelf behind me or something. I don't know how I wanna set them up. I was gonna buy the whole set of Throne of Glass, but I was like, Jodi, you're not gonna be able to carry that to your car. So I don't know. I'm opening a very scary door because I have a feeling I'm going to end up with an entire library, but also that's like the goal. But I'm also telling myself no, but I'm also telling myself yes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. And if you have any other book content that you'd like to see from me, please let me know. Please subscribe. Please comment. I have a feeling I'm gonna love making book content. It's just a matter of what book content I want to make. So again, thank you so much for watching, and if you read any of these books or have read any of these books, please let me know what you think. And my next video I think is gonna be me reading the Hunger Games. I might do a live reading of reading the new Hunger Games book, and then I'm gonna watch the movie and I'm gonna compare the two, review it, put it in one nice little package. Boom. So if that interests you, don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you next time. Bye.